of the football and throwing it where it needs to be thrown and being smarter with it.
That was pretty clear. What do you make of Goff's struggles?
Well, he's struggling, really. And if you look at the evolution of Jared Goff, let's think about his rookie year, Hard Knocks. He couldn't even get a play out, couldn't even take the snap. He was humiliated on national television. And then Sean McVay says, okay, I'm going to build my quarterback up. And he basically talks to him all the way to the line of scrimmage until the clock cuts off at 15 seconds, and they rolled that to a Super Bowl. Now this running game is coming. The defense is better. Jared Goff's got to take the next step. No. Jared Goff's not playing well. He is not playing well whatsoever. And Sean McVay, Randy, I'm going to cut you off. Sean McVay can only do so much for Jared Goff. This is a quarterback-friendly offense. He cuts the field in half. It's play action. It's run game. The reads are clearly defined for this quarterback. And for him to be careless with the football in a Sean McVay offense, I mean, I'm not saying that's hard to do, Randy, but Sean McVay runs a quarterback-friendly offense. Yes. And if you can't take care of the football in this offense, if you can't survive, if you can't thrive in this offense, and I wonder where you can survive in this league.
You know, first of all, you have to give credit to Coach Saleh, D coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. One, it's a divisional game, and two, understanding what McVay is trying to do with his quarterback and Jared Goff. But just, 6-7 days ago, he had a heck of a performance Monday night on the road, and then you come back home to SoFi Stadium and put that type of performance up. I think for me, just looking at a guy like Jared Goff, I just wonder if he's reading his own press clippings. You had a hell of a game in week 4, the week prior. Then you go home and put on that type of performance. Hey, as big as a market as he's in Los Angeles, hey, you talking about playing better, he better get his act together.
Robert Saleh,
Randy, the whole thing is
tonight.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Randy, I mean, he set this whole thing up for Jared Goff, right? He knows he's a play-action quarterback. In 2018, they had a top 10 running game. Off of that, Jared Goff took him to the Super Bowl. 19, terrible running game that didn't go there, and that Jared Goff struggled. This season, gets his running game back. Expansive offense. The whole thing's set up for Jared not to do what he did yesterday. You think that Sean McVay, after that game, he was being kind. Look, Jared, we set this whole thing up. You now have your running game. You're a play-action quarterback. There is no excuse at all. You have got to do this. And so I hate to say this, but it rests directly on Jared to take care of it. One game, fine. Let's not overreact. But this whole thing is set up for the Rams to go to the Super Bowl for Jared Goff to do his job.
It was a really good day for Seattle. The Rams and Cardinals both lost. Adam, more news?
Yep, okay. Well, we told you that we had a triple-header on Monday. We only have a double-header on Monday.
So you lost the game somewhere.
Because the Cowboys-Ravens was moved to Tuesday at 8:05. That game's going to kick off Tuesday at 8:05. So now Monday will be the Steelers-Washington at 5.
Okay.
We will have the Bills-49ers at 8. And we will have the Cowboys-Ravens on Tuesday at 8:05.
Okay, so help me out. Is there a game this Wednesday?
There's a game this Wednesday, 3:40 Eastern. And if you're on the West Coast, you could have lunch and watch Wednesday afternoon football.
I like that.
That sounds like spread the wealth. Games every day. Here we go. All right, coming up. There might not be a better combination of speed and strength in the NFL than DK. Steve, Mahomes had his 5th career 400-yard day. What about this performance stood out to you?
Well, you just get a sense, I said earlier in the season that the only team that's going to beat the Chiefs are themselves. Coming out of the huddle, and I remember being the attendance of one at the Ravens game with the Chiefs, and I said, no, they've got so many options. They can come from everywhere. And really, they're the only ones that can slow themselves down. Defenses that play them every week are on their heels. And the only way they get beat is if they allow themselves to have defenses lean forward. Look at this. Start the game. Tyreek Hill, they're worried about him sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone. They have to protect every inch of pay dirt. Look at Patrick Mahomes backing up. 3rd and 2, conversion. You think you have a great defense, you got everybody covered. Look at like Thomas Lott running down the line in 1970s Oklahoma with the veer off the option. How are you going to stop a quarterback that can do that? And then running out the game. Who do you put the ball in whose hands to go do it? No, you're not going to run the football. Just put it in Pat's hands. And does he know to get down in bounds and make sure to run the clock out? Nobody is going to beat this team except for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's how explosive they are. And how would you like to be a defensive coordinator in a defense? Try not to be on your heels and have a chance to stay in the game. Who's going to outscore the Chiefs is the real question.
And that's very tough to do. But, Steve, you just put some plays up there offensively for the Kansas City Chiefs, with Tyreek Hill just running slap through a defense. I want to talk to the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 24 cornerback Carlton Davis. When you get up in a guy's face like Tyreek Hill, when you know he has speed, you have to be confident in your skill set at the line of scrimmage. And then second of all, Whitehead, the safeties for the Tampa Bay Bucks, you got to understand depth and you have to understand angles with dealing with speed. The Kansas City Chiefs have so much speed on their team. You got to worry about guys like Mecole Hardman. You got to worry about guys like Kelce. And I want to send a shout out to Travis Kelce and the Cheetah for being able to be number 1 and number 2 in the National Football League, just being able to get those receiver yards. For the last couple of weeks, is Kelce a receiver or is he a tight end? Whatever he is, he's in the tops of everything that he's doing at the wide receiver position. But let me get back to the defense. They have to understand angles with dealing with a track team like that.
Yeah.
Get depth and get width and watch the ball come to you.
Let's turn to the Bucs offense. And we've heard for a while now, this is a collaboration, Arian style, Brady style. How's it going in week 12?
Well, it's still a work in progress, and there seems to be a narrative out there that it's either Bruce Arians' fault or Byron Leftwich's fault, and usually reality always lies somewhere in the middle. Could the plays be better? Sure. Could the execution be better? Sure. But no one seems to want to point the finger at the 9-time Super Bowl participating, 6-time Super Bowl winning quarterback Tom Brady. Tom Brady hasn't played well. He's predetermining some of his throws. He's seeing, I'm not going to say he's seeing ghosts, but the rush isn't always there as he is seeing it. Tom Brady has to play better. And I think people around the league want to make excuses and say, well, it's Bruce, well, Steve, it's Byron and Tom. Listen, sometimes the guy is just not playing well. Yes, he's the greatest quarterback of all time, but can we just say this on this program? He's great, but he is not playing well at all. And maybe, just maybe, that's the problem, and it's not all on Byron Leftwich or Bruce Arians, Steve.
No, I think Byron and Bruce would like to be more explosive, Boog. I think that they would like to be more expansive. And Tom is playing a really kind of, last week when I was there in the Monday night game, they're playing a horizontal game. It's dink and dunk. Tom looks like a quarterback that wants to be 28 for 30, right? I want every short, just march down the field and not have that explosiveness. And to me, anytime he tries to throw a long ball and he's maybe seeing pressure and feeling pressure because that offensive line is a patchwork in the week before, I just feel like the long game is gone. And I think Tom Brady is going to have to force the issue and prove to other teams in the rest of the league, because they are predatory. Defenses in this league, Berg, as you know, are predatory, and they maybe smell that Tom Brady can't be expansive anymore. Maybe because of the offensive line, maybe the fear of the rush, whatever, maybe the arm strength, whatever it is, this team feels like a horizontal offense, to your point, that does rest with Tom Brady.
Well, Stephen, to your point, in the highlights there, you just showed the interception that Breeland picked. Why would you throw a 50-50 jump ball to Scotty Miller against Breeland? Breeland is 6'2". Scotty Miller is shorter than Shefty. Why would you throw a 50-50 ball up to him? Yeah, I know. There's no reason whatsoever to throw a 50-50 ball up to Scotty Miller. That should be Mike Evans. So Tom Brady, before the snap of the ball, said, I'm going here regardless. And you just can't do that.
Well, let me tell y'all something. I can't believe that y'all sitting on national TV talking about Tom Brady. For the last 2 seasons, correct me if I'm